Variety is the spice of life. That might be true, but is it the best approach for weight loss? In this video, I make the argument that it might not be right for you, and I explain why. Feel free to agree or disagree in the comments below. Just please don't disagree in all caps. Here we go. Food is the fuel that keeps your body running. So we were designed to eat, and there are a multitude of mechanisms within us that encourage us to keep eating. In fact, scientists have figured this out and use it to their advantage when they need to fatten up animals for research studies. In obesity research, you need fat mice. To speed up the process of making mice obese, scientists came up with what they call the cafeteria diet. It is explained this way. The cafeteria diet model for animal experiments consists of the same tasty but unhealthy products that people eat, for example, hot dogs and muffins, and considers variety, novelty, and secondary food features such as smell and textures. In other words, if you want animals to eat a lot and keep eating, give them a variety of tastes and textures to choose from, just like humans enjoy at a cafeteria. In fact, a specific perk of the cafeteria diet model is that it induces hyperphagia, which means an abnormally high appetite, and also promotes metabolic syndrome better than other diets. Ugh. Bottom line, when you want to fatten up animals quickly, give them a smorgasbord of foods that override hunger's satisfaction cues and encourage effortless overeating. Said another way, with nothing to disrupt our desire to eat, we keep eating. That is why stoppers are so important. A stopper is an eating disruptor. And let me pause for a moment to talk about our sponsor, Element, which is one of my favorite stoppers. Stopper is the term I use for an item, drink, or activity that allows you to separate from the act of eating. One way it does this is by changing the taste in your mouth. This would be true of minty things like sugar-free gum or brushing your teeth. Other items take a long time to sip, giving your brain time to get the message that you are full. Element is the stopper I use to bring a meal to a close. Something that most of us have experienced is feeling physically full after a meal but still wanting dessert. When this happens, I bypass the calories using Element. Because it tastes so good and it takes a long time to drink, using it after a meal makes it easy to move away from eating without giving in to dessert. Element is an electrolyte supplement that allows me to replenish electrolytes that my body naturally loses throughout the day. Electrolytes are essential minerals like magnesium, potassium, and sodium that your body needs in order for you to stay hydrated and for your muscles and nerves to function properly. Symptoms of low electrolytes include headaches, fatigue, muscle cramps, and cravings. When you do things that keep your insulin levels low, like eating a low-carb diet or practicing intermittent fasting, or you do things that cause you to sweat, like exercising in a warm environment, your loss of electrolytes is accelerated. Every day, I use Element to replenish electrolytes. In fact, I look forward to it and use it to my advantage to stop eating before it turns into overeating. It comes in individual sticks, and you can adjust the taste by simply adjusting the water to Element ratio. If you'd like to try Element, the company is offering my viewers a free sample pack with any order, so you can try 8 flavors. To get yours, go to drinklmnt.com/Dr. Becky. I'll provide a link to the offer in the description area below this video. Given that the modern food environment makes highly palatable foods available around the clock, having a stopper helps you short-circuit the cafeteria diet dilemma. But why does having a variety of foods in front of us make us want to keep eating? A lot of that desire can be explained by understanding sensory-specific satiety. Sensory-specific satiety refers to the declining satisfaction we get from eating a particular type of food and the subsequent increase in appetite that we get when we switch to a new taste or texture. When you eat, you not only feed your body, you feed your senses. Foods vary in many ways. They can be savory or sweet, crunchy or smooth, visually appealing or aromatic. The trap of sensory-specific satiety is that it keeps renewing your appetite even though your body has no need for more food. This explains the dessert effect, right? That point you reach where you proclaim, "I am so full I cannot eat another bite," until the dessert comes out and suddenly you find room for a piece of cake. The anticipation of the cake's taste and texture in your mouth overrides your brain's hunger satiation cues. If you've ever finished off a big bowl of crunchy potato chips yet felt like you'd still love some creamy ice cream, you've experienced this phenomenon. Your body did not need additional calories, but the promised change of taste and texture kept your desire to keep eating alive. This brings us to the benefits of boring. Boring does not mean eating a diet void of flavor. Instead, think along the lines of repeating meals one day to the next and enjoying what you eat, but limiting the variety of tastes and textures within a meal. By doing this, you defeat decision fatigue. If multiple desirable foods are accessible, the desire to keep eating is enhanced. Keeping these foods off your plate and out of sight will not only allow you to move away from overeating, but it will also save you from relying on willpower. Willpower is a fragile thing. It is easily lost through everyday things like low blood sugar, fatigue, and stress. One of the most stressful and tiring things we do in a day is making decisions. It is estimated that an adult living in America makes 35,000 decisions a day. This constant burden leads to a phenomenon called decision fatigue. Willpower is no match for decision fatigue. When it is reached, it is difficult to control behaviors like eating. Keeping things boring also directly counters sensory-specific satiety by promoting palate fatigue. In his book, Wired to Eat, Robb Wolf does a great job of illustrating palate fatigue by discussing an episode of Man vs. Food. The premise of the show is that the host travels to different American restaurants, taking on their eating challenges, hence the name Man vs. Food. In the episode that Wolf described, the host at the time, Adam Richman, traveled to a creamery in San Francisco to take on their kitchen sink challenge. To succeed, he had to eat an enormous sundae consisting of 8 scoops of ice cream, tons of toppings, and mounds of whipped cream in less than an hour. This is entertainment, and we wonder how we got here. But anyway, I will link to the episode if you'd like to watch it. But I am giving a spoiler alert. He did it. How? By, get this, asking for an order of crunchy, salty French fries halfway through the sundae. Halfway through the sundae, he started to struggle. So what did he do? He ordered more food. This is a sundae so big that only 4 people before him met the challenge, and he orders more food. Why did he do that? Because he understood palate fatigue. He knew that the sameness of the ice cream's taste and texture was shutting down his appetite, so he purposely shut down palate fatigue by temporarily switching to a food that had a different taste, texture, and temperature. This re-stimulated his appetite, and he was able to keep eating the creamy ice cream. So how do you bring a bit of boredom into your diet? Here are 4 ways. First, prepare and cook food at home. Restaurants are filled with cues to keep you eating and offer a variety of tastes and textures that re-stimulate your appetite, from the breadbasket to the dessert tray. If you don't know what to cook at home, I have cookbooks on my website that are filled with low-carb recipes. One of the most boring and most important things you can do to make weight loss progress is to track your food intake. If you are not losing weight as you'd like and you're not tracking, then you're guessing. Tracking, even if it is just your calorie and carbohydrate intake, gives you the understanding you need to make meaningful changes to your diet. Protein and fat take time to digest and keep hunger away for hours. Whole foods with these nutrients tend to require a lot of chewing. In a Time magazine article on foods that make you hungrier, they share that multiple studies have found the amount of time and the number of chews it takes you to eat something affect how full you feel afterwards, speculating that lots of chewing knocks down an eater's level of ghrelin, the hormone commonly referred to as the hunger hormone. Another great way to keep your diet boring is to eat the same thing for breakfast and lunch each day this week and keep dinner simple. Here's a quick menu. For breakfast, have eggs any way you like them, scrambled, poached, or made into an omelet. At lunch, have a salad topped with protein and fat choices like chicken, salmon, avocados, nuts, and seeds. And for dinner, have meat, fish, or poultry with a side of cooked non-starchy vegetables. If you want to skip breakfast to practice intermittent fasting, that's fine. Make your morning eggs hard-boiled eggs and have them as a snack in the afternoon. A simple, repetitive menu is easy to follow, saves you time and food prep, and keeps you in control of your eating. If variety is working for you, by all means, keep it up. But if you feel like you keep spinning your wheels, losing the same pounds over and over again, give boring a try. All right, there you have it. Let me know your thoughts. Is boring better, or do you want to make the case for variety? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. You'll find links to Element, my cookbooks, and the resources I talked about in the description area or more area below this video. If you found this video helpful, please click the subscribe button. Have a great rest of your day.